Happy Saturday evening, everybody. This is Robert. This is the last day of November. Tomorrow will be December 1st, and we have 1 month left of 2019. And then we're on to 2020. And, I know a lot of people, there's like mixed feelings about this year. Some people have had a wonderful year. Other people, from this is all based on what I've heard and followed on social media. I think social media is like a really good way, to keep uh, posted on what's going on in a person's life. It gives you at least some type of semblance, and instead of the best way to do so obviously is to pick up the phone or text a person and how you doing, how's everything going, and get that. But it gives an ability to kind of see what's going on in a person's life. So I don't think that's always a bad thing. So we have a month left of 2019. Um, I This video, it just kind of it's been in the works, and I'm excited to do it, and it's gonna be my uh, my the things that that a person would need to do to have mental wellness in their life. Based on and this is all coming from me, Robert's uh, keys to being mentally healthy, and part of that, and it all ties into the mind, body, spirit. They all tie in and are equally important if you're going to be healthy in life, and your life is going to reflect that, and ultimately to be happy, because I believe 100% you cannot be happy in life if you don't have your health. And your health is not just a physical type thing, it's emotional and psychological, your mind, body, and spirit. Uh, if you're, you need to have all three in unison in order to be really happy in life. And when you do, your life will reflect it. And then, being happy and being healthy, you're more apt to pursue and accomplish your hopes and dreams in your life. And that's outside. The reality of life is, life is not easy. There's, we all of us, every human being on the planet deals with loss, betrayals, heartaches, less than stellar people. We see constantly loved ones die of some horrible disease like cancer. So there's always health issues, there's always losses, there's tragic things, people die in car accidents. I'm not saying that to the doom and gloom, but it's the reality of why life is so difficult. There is the negative things in life, and it's not that you focus on them, but it's a part of the it's a piece of the whole thing. So, you know, it, those things influence us into our health being compromised. Emotionally, if you're hurt or abused by somebody emotionally, you're going to have damages. Trauma, PTSD. These are all results of being mistreated or abused. That's not always the thing, but that's one specific example. You know, um, and then you have other things. So, you have those things, and that makes a commitment to being positive and being healthy, and healthy mind, body, and spirit so important, because uh, you get up every day, and those are things that you're going to have to deal with. That maybe things. So you have a better chance of surviving and overcoming with being positive to what the negative is out there. I mean, if you don't make a commitment to being positive every day, then you're at the mercy. Essentially, you put yourself in a bad position to be at the mercy of the negative things, and to be impacted negatively, and it's having your emotional well-being, mental well-being, physical well-being impacted by that. It's positivity, being positive, making a commitment to that is a choice. And the only time people say, "Well, I don't have a choice in that," is if they're kind of like brainwashed by depression or mental illness, or probably sometimes just sadly being in an abusive situation where they're kind of brainwashed into thinking that they don't have a choice. People are horrible, and people do that to control other people. That's why there's such an issue with narcissists. If you look at narcissists, are really wonderful people at brainwashing other people into thinking that they're some type of thing, and something they're not. And people, are not aware of this, and then they get into where they're kind of like under mind control. Yes, I read this and I'm like, I read all the people, the poor women that are victimized by narcissists and have to deal with them on a consistent basis. And then you're going to tell me there's no such thing as mind control? That I beg to differ. Talk to any woman that's been victimized by a narcissist consistently, and then you'll get a different story. And it's just the reality. So, that's my soapbox and going on to it. And these things that I'm going to talk about, are so important if you're going to have a healthy, happy life. These are all things that I've learned with my experience, and my experience has not been one of. It's been an experience through mistrials, mistakes, ignoring things. So this is all the wisdom of the suffering that I've caused when I haven't done those things, the suffering that I've taken on when I haven't done those things. So I've learned this through extensive suffering, and through the suffering, I've learned to empower myself. And these things are important to do to promote your happy, healthy lifestyle, for you to deal with the difficulties of life. And the importance of this, as I'm saying too, we have such a massive problem with addiction in this country. There are so many people struggling with addiction, and mental illness is other thing that goes in hand with that. People get addicted because they feel bad inside, a lot of it. I mean, it's not always this, but the majority of people, you talk to an average addict, they aren't feeling very happy about their life. And that's why they're going into taking on something to help them feel better. It's a quick fix that they get trapped in. So it's a horrible existence to be someone like that. My heart goes out for anybody who's addicted to anything and has got suckered in, and it's all because they feel, so these things are so important for dealing with the difficulties of life in a healthy way, because we deal with things one way or another. A lot of times we don't deal with things in a healthy way because we're not prepared or not understand to. So we get stuck in bad habits. So let's get to it. So one of the first things that people can do, and it's really something that they have a choice and they have control over, probably the most control over your mental wellness, your physical wellness, is diet and exercise. So two of the things that scientifically backed by scientific research, backed by people who you see the results of implemented in. When people eat healthy and people exercise consistently, they're not going to be addicted as much to stuff. They're going to be in a better place. Their body's going to react. They're going to be feeling good. I can say that, back that, 4 months of exercising consistently, I've lost over 40 pounds. I feel great inside. And it's not, that's the result of that happening. Now, and that's without consistent diet in place. So consistent healthy diet in place with consistent exercise, those are two things that are not easy if you're really out of shape, unhealthy, whatever else. They're going to be very difficult to implement into your life starting out. That's a big part. But, as you gradually implement them, and you will see the results of that, So diet and exercise, great for the mind. You're in a crappy mood. You're going to make that mood much more crappy if you eat crappy. If you eat crappy stuff in your bad mood, you'll feel good for a quicker time than if you eat healthy, you exercise. You eat healthy, you're more likely to have a a sustained better mood than eating crappy. You may have like a quick fix for that, but after the quick fix is over, you're going to be feeling very bad. So those are two things that are so important into wellness for your mind, body, and spirit. And there's something that, it's something that you need to put into practice and motion. So diet and exercise. The other thing, and this is more of a challenge, because a lot of times in certain circumstances, you don't have entirely control of it. Healthy, loving people in your life. Part of the reason why people have so much abuse and trauma is because they're dealing with abusive people that are not healthy or loving. But the most important thing about this, these people do not care to be healthy or loving. It's one thing when you're unhealthy and unloving, but you're working on to improve that. That's a different animal. But if you're somebody who is abusive, don't care to be, just doesn't care to be healthy or loving, is just going to be irresponsible with emotionally and just mess up people, and that's going to be it. And people are going to deal with the effects of that. People are ruined by that. People like that. These people, and there's a lot of them in this world, and it's important to where it comes into going into a therapy and learning about establishing strong, healthy boundaries, because those people are not going to change and have healthy, strong boundaries. Those people don't care. People who don't care, who are unhealthy and destructive, are just going to, it's like an infection that is going to get worse and worse. They're not going to come into your life. They're not going to change. It's up to the person who's being abused to establish the healthy boundaries. That's the only chance that they have of being in potentially something healthy. Because, this is something that I have experience with. I dealt with very unhealthy, destructive people, and I waited for them to change, and I just went deeper and deeper into a hole until I took responsibility for myself and coming up with strong, healthy boundaries and pushing, unhealthy, destructive people away. And sometimes I had to be a very rude SOB, and I had to really put back on them that there's consequences if you're going to try to hurt me. And, and sometimes that's what you need to do if you're going to get out of a bad situation. Because those people, again, they ain't going to change and become better. They don't care. People who don't care aren't going to get better. People who care are only going to make things worse. So it's important to establish healthy boundaries and find healthy, loving people. They're out there. It's tough to see them when you're in a bad place, but they're out there. And once you have them in your life, you have to become one first, and then you attract the other. Once you have those people in your life, you don't take them for granted. You express gratitude, and you go from there. So, diet, exercise, healthy people, going to therapy, establishing a strong relationship with a therapist and a psychiatrist. You're going to need both to promote mental wellness. You go to therapy for whatever reasons you feel necessary. Do not go to therapy because of some other reasons that a person does. If you're looking to get better in life and you're going to try to follow other people, how they get better, no. You don't want to do that because everybody's different. You're unique. You need to follow your own unique plan. And that's why you go to therapy. So maybe you don't know what it is. Maybe you don't know what the best thing is. But that's why you go to therapy. You go to therapy, you find out what works best for you. You need an individual type solution for yourself that is not what everybody else does, because you're a unique person. You need to love yourself as a unique person. You need to go to therapy to develop your own unique plan, whatever works with it. Go to therapy. Guess what? You go to therapy, you find out, hey, you know what? When I draw, when I'm having a bad day, that works out amazing. Or I go and do karaoke. Karaoke